London, 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 London. Loop, 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 loop. London, 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 London.
Hello, hello guys, and a happy Tuesday. Redfreya here, live from the Bloop studio with an amazing guest today, Sodade. Hi, Sodade.
Hi, Freya. Hello, London.
Great to have you here. So I've got Sodade here with me in the studio, straight from Belgium. Yesterday, the day before yesterday is when you flew in.
Yes,
flew
exactly.
in. But originally you're from India.
Yes.
Which part?
So born and brought up from the north, quite close to New Delhi.
New Delhi, okie doke. And just to give you guys a little bit of intro on Sodade. So I've been such a big fan of his music probably for the last 3 or 4 years. I first came across him on SoundCloud, like listened to a mix of his, and then I had to send him a message and be like, this is the best DJ mix I've listened to all year. So that's how I found him, and I'd really recommend everyone goes and checks him out on SoundCloud after this. And then we started talking, and you sent me a lot of unreleased music of yours, which I've been playing here on the show, playing in gigs and stuff, and I always really wanted to get you here on the show, so it's quite like it's a really special show for me today to have you here. I'm a really big fan.
Likewise.
And also tomorrow we've got the Redfreya and Friends event happening at Dalston Roof Park, and Sodade is coming to play a great set for us there as well. So there's a few final release tickets left for that if anyone's listening and they want to come and join us and listen to him there. But yeah, so just to get started then, usually I ask my guests when they come into the studio to give a bit of a bio of themselves, like who is Sodade, what is your sound, who are you as an artist?
So,
Sorry, microphone squeak.
yeah. So music for me is really a journey, and which for me started when I moved to the Netherlands, and it all started with my first party when I had an incredible experience. So almost after 7-8 hours in a club, the lights came out, and it felt like I was a different person. And the artists, the club, it's a Toffler, a club in Rotterdam in Netherlands, and it's really a techno temple, house temple for me as well, dance music temple in general. So that's how it all started, and then I started DJing because I really imagined myself on the other side of the decks. And I was always a fan of music, also in India, mostly classical music, and also like old classical Bollywood songs as well. My family, both my parents, love music, so that's when I really I wanted to pursue it, and here I am. Almost 6 years later, and really happy to be here, excited and super grateful for our friendship, our connection. So thank you for the invite.
Yeah, no, I honestly likewise, I've been so inspired by some of your music, and I hope you're going to play a track or two of yours today on your little mix as well, because I feel like you have such a unique kind of sound, and I wonder if maybe that's also influenced a bit by by different cultures, and the fact that you've obviously grown up in India, so you've got like that's a different musical tradition, and then you've lived across Europe and obviously in the Netherlands. Have you been in any other European countries except the Netherlands and Belgium?
That's it.
That's it. Okay. But obviously there's like a lot of house and techno and like melodic, progressive sort of sounds, and I guess we could say that your music's quite in that space. So let's talk about your childhood then a little bit, and your upbringing in your household. Was it like a musical household? Your parents are into music. What were your early interactions with different sorts of music like?
Yes, so my mother is really, I would say, a huge music enthusiast, and I have this distinct memory. When I was maybe 8, 10 years old, I would just come back home for a lunch break from school, and I would hear like these beautiful melodies, and most of it was, sometimes it was like meditation music, and other times it was more like classical Bollywood music, and it was all very soulful and happy music, so it was that's what and I also connect a lot to my experiences and places with sound. So whenever I hear those sounds and whenever I hear music which is along those feelings, I'm taken aback to that moment in time. So it was that's why it was quite special. And my father too, like I also remember whenever we would do these long road trips, we would listen to again this beautiful music, and mostly in nature as well. So that's also something which further solidified my love for music, I would say.
Yeah, and I feel like also what I've seen from the stuff that you shared over like social media and stuff, it's that you're quite inspired by nature and kind of like the beauty that you can see in nature and the kind of natural structures. And you also have a background in something quite scientific, is that right?
Yes.
What did you study in university?
So I did a bachelor's in mechanical engineering, and for master's I studied aerospace. But then I specialized in sound, so acoustics.
Okay, wow. So then it goes quite like 360, because now you're bringing that like quite good knowledge of, I guess, physics and like the physics of sound into what you're doing now. And then you started your journey with DJing and then also music production. Which came first for you?
I would say DJing.
Yeah.
Yes, because DJing then also gave me quite a nice understanding of what makes a track. Because music for sure is like a journey, but what makes journey, like different parts of the song, different sections, and also gave me a better feeling for what works on the dance floor and what not. So
absolutely.
I really use those experiences now to recreate some moments myself.
And what was that journey like? So I remember you mentioned this specific club that you went to that was like a temple, and then you were there and you were like having an amazing time, and then you thought, okay, I want to be on the other side of the DJ booth, I want to be doing this. And then what was your journey like in terms of getting into DJing? Did you so this was 6 years ago that you first sort of picked up a pair of headphones, and then did a friend sort of show you the ropes, and then you started mixing yourself?
Yes. So for me, it started with also Andres. So Wander, like with whom I did my debut EP, which was released in 2021.
Was that on a tribe called
Yes.
Katori? Yeah, Oliver
Yes.
Koletsky's label, yeah.
Exactly. So it was quite a special relationship as well, because he was the first person who showed me around Ableton, like in his
Okay.
own house studio. And both of us were studying in Delft back then, so both doing our masters. And Andres then moved on, and he's doing really amazing now with music, and has quit engineering completely. I would say I'm still in my journey. Let's say maybe who knows eventually, but that was quite special. So it started there, and from then on, it was lots of YouTube tutorials, so mostly self-taught as well. But DJing, it all started with just practicing on turntables, which were available in my university, so where I was studying. So as a student, that's something I did, and we organized a lot of student parties as well, and then our own events in Delft. So that was really a foundation of the journey, so forth.
Yeah, and it's I think it's such a nice way to sort of build your skill set as a DJ, like organizing smaller parties with kind of your local scene, and then it's like the grassroots way to start, and you really kind of build a feel for it. And then with the production side of things, what drew you to wanting to start that? I mean, obviously you're working in Ableton, obviously you have like quite an analytical mind because of your background in engineering, but what kind of motivated you to want to start making your own music?
It was more a need for expression, let's say, and a more detailed one than I would say DJing, because DJing for sure is also artistic expression. But with production, I felt like I could tell my own story, per se. And also the freedom that it allows. Like for me, it's really the amazing experience that I sit down when I start on making music, and quite often you just start with pure silence, and then you paint it with every little sound. So that experience in itself was what really kept me going, I must say. So
Yeah, I love that. I love that kind of picture of a blank canvas and then painting it with little sounds. And when you sit down to make a track, would you say that do you have a specific approach that you always use? Like you always have a melody idea in your head, or you think, okay, like this is going to be, I mean, I'm speaking to you as someone who, like, I'm not a pro producer, so I'm not going to say the right terms on this kind of stuff, but yeah, or is it like you apply a different approach each time?
So I would say in the beginning it was more I would start with always a groove.
Yeah.
But then also musically I shifted more and more towards listening to ambient music, because now I rarely listen to dance music when I'm not in I'm in a studio or in a club. So at home I mostly always listen to ambient music, which is really melodies, rich in melodies and harmonies. So these days quite often I start with just melodies or synths, mostly like some kind of an ambient atmos element, and then that gives me also some space for my mind to imagine sounds on top of it. So when you listen to, for example, that loop, maybe 30 seconds or so, and then just sit back, not even experiment a lot, then suddenly I feel like sometimes I almost hallucinate, and then or in an auditory way. So a melody comes to my mind, and then I try to recreate it with synths. So I feel like music making has been faster this way, because once you have a nice melodic elements in your track, it's nice to find a groove that works on top of it, instead the other way around. Because I feel like with groove, for me, it felt constricting after a certain point. So.
That's really interesting, and I think our listeners would also find that quite interesting, especially when they a lot of people who listen to this show are also producing their own music, and also people coming to listen to your tracks. I mean, so you've released that one EP on A Tribe Called Kotori. Anything else in the works in terms of other things, other releases, or what's your future plans with music production?
So quite some unreleased music in the pipeline. So I've been working past year, actually a couple of years have been quite fruitful, and quite productive as well with music making. So I have an EP which is finished with Eva. Her artist name is Amika. She's a vocalist and musician based in Amsterdam. And then another EP with Adam. His artist name is Adventura. And he changed it now to Bone Im, so that's his new alias. So yeah, those are the two exciting projects I worked on recently, which will definitely see the light of day in the coming year.
Very exciting. So definitely want to watch this space. And it's kind of a big question to say, oh, tell me like how you would describe your sound. And I hate it when people ask me, because I'm always like, I don't really know. But I feel like you must have a little bit of a sense of your artistic identity. I mean, how would you describe your sound in elements that people can expect to hear in your DJ sets and your productions? What sort of things are you drawn to?
So if I were to choose one word to describe my music, that would be longing. So, longing for something. And I always feel like it's not a longing for something necessarily that happened in the past, which is actually what saudade means. Okay. It's a Portuguese word. And for me, it's a longing for something in the future, perhaps, like a bright, beautiful time when it's really sort of creating heaven on earth, and it's all right here, and just recreating that feeling through music. So that's what it means for me, and it's all I would say quite rich in melodies and organic elements as well, and always with some bittersweet feeling to it. That's really something I'm amazed by. If I can touch that bittersweet feeling with my music, it feels almost magical. So that's what I try to pursue.
And I think that's another reason why when I stumbled across your DJ sets and then obviously like your unreleased music that you sent me as well, I was always so impressed by it and also really moved by it, because that's a really big thing for me as well in terms of the sort of DJing that I'm doing, is that it has to be really emotionally expressive and really rich in emotion, and also like kind of transformative for the listener, which obviously a lot of people are making banging tracks that have a lot of groove that might be really exciting to listen to on the dance floor, but it's not that common to find artists who are making tracks that are really rich in that emotional experience, and I feel like that really comes through in your music, which that's why I'm such a big fan.
You put it quite well, because for me, even my best nights in a club are usually those where I take back those moments. It's not necessarily a track, but it's more a feeling, something that I've maybe never experienced before, and I'm so deeply in touch with my own emotions. It's therapeutic, actually, and that's when like a club night can feel like a group therapy session almost.
Absolutely. I really stand by this. I really think that raves can be very, very therapeutic, and I mean, I studied this a lot in uni, actually, like total side tangent, but I did some research on this, on how it's kind of like a bit like a ritual, which isn't, a crazy stretch to say that, because I mean, there's a lot of things that overlap in it, but if you enter a rave, and as you said, when you were partying this in this like club that was like a temple, you enter in and you leave 8 hours later, and you're you kind of transformed and you don't even know how it happened. You're just
Exactly.
dancing for 8 hours. And okay, amazing. Well, I'm really keen to get into some music in just a minute. Is there anything else you want to tell our listeners about your journey? Anything we haven't touched on?
I think that was pretty much it. Would love to now let the music do the talking. But as I said,
Yeah.
it's really a pleasure to be here. It's my first time in London and first time on Bloop. So again, thank you for having me here, and I look forward to also the party tomorrow.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We're so happy to have you here. Hopefully not your last time on Bloop. We'll have to bring you back to London again. But yeah, everybody, you'll be able to come and catch him playing live at Dalston Roof Park tomorrow. As I said, we've got a very small amount of tickets left. So if you're interested to come along, then check out the Resident Advisor page. You can find it on my Instagram, Redfreya DJ, and also Sadare's Instagram. Do you want to just drop your Instagram handle so people can find your SoundCloud, etc.?
So you can find me on Instagram, Saudade, SAUDADE.music. And my SoundCloud is as well, so Saudade Music.
So please go and give him a follow on SoundCloud, check out his music, and maybe come down and party with us tomorrow. And now we will be live till 4 p.m. straight from the studio in Holborn. Get locked, guys.
not invisible to you. Do my eyes speak true? My soul so in touch with yours tonight. Won't let my head take flight. We could leave this place, freedom ours to chase. What if I escape with you? 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 What if I escape with Is it real? Is it just a fantasy? 'Cause the unknown's pulling me. We could leave this place, freedom ours to chase. What if I escape with you? What if I escape with you? What if I escape with you? What if I escape with you?
Would you hack into your soul? Are the things you would undo? Would you hack into your soul? Are the things you would erase? Would you hack into your soul?
London, 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 London.
C'est dans ma galère que la gomme tout m'a quitté, oh. C'est dans ma galère que la gomme tout m'a quitté, oh. C'est dans ma galère que la gomme tout m'a quitté, oh. C'est dans ma galère que la gomme tout m'a quitté, oh. Quand j'avais un peu, oh. Matin, midi, soir, on était ensemble, oh. À la rue Princesse, oh. Au milieu maquis, oh. À salle, faut payer les poulets, oh. L'argent est fini, en tout a changé de côté, oh. Waribana, elle a changé de côté, oh. Nangere, nangere, wa. 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 Nangere, nangere, wa.
Thank you, London. This is the last track of my set. What a pleasure was here. Hope you enjoyed the set, and hopefully I'll be back here soon. So yeah.
Thank you so much to Sadade for the amazing hour here. As we said, you can come to Dalston Roof Park, check him out live tomorrow, and give him a follow on SoundCloud. This has been Redfreya and Sadade. Have a great rest of your weekend, guys.
I'm with you.
London, 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 London.